I'm Francois Gagnon with ERA Europe, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. And we're really delighted today that we are here with the new President and Chief Executive Officer of ERA Franchise Systems, Mr. Charlie Young. Hello, Charlie. How are you?
Hello, Francois. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule.
Anytime.
And to start off, I wanted to ask you a little bit, for those folks who perhaps have not met you before, what exactly is your background and what business were you involved in and your professional experience prior to joining ERA?
Well, prior to coming to ERA, I was the Chief Operating Officer for a major real estate company here in the United States. Prior to that, I spent a number of years as the Chief Marketing Officer for that company. I also have worked in the mortgage industry for a number of years. And before my real estate time, I was a business consultant. I worked to consult Fortune 100 companies like ExxonMobil and American Express on various different business issues that they had.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you not only have experience in real estate and the mortgages and the financing, but also in business growth and business development.
Absolutely.
So that's great, and it's wonderful that you're at the helm of ERA. How do you see the real estate market in the U.S.? And without asking you to make predictions that are difficult to make, but how do you see where we've been and where we're going in the market?
Well, as you know, the last 4 years has been a tough road for the U.S. real estate market and the economy in general. I think the real estate market is not that different than what I've seen is going on in Europe. We have some areas of our country that have been hit very hard, others that have not been hit as hard. But in general, as a total, it's been a tough road. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that we're starting to put the worst behind us. We are seeing some nice signs of life in our market, although we're being very cautious because there are a lot of factors outside of the real estate market that could still influence and impede any recovery. So check back with me in a couple months and I'll give you a more accurate view of what I think is going to happen. For now, cautious optimism that we're starting to come towards recovery.
Oh, that's great. And I'm sure a lot of our European colleagues would certainly be able to relate to your comments and your not only your optimism, but also your cautiousness as to how you view the market. Now that you've been with ERA, and I realize it's only been for a short period of time, but how do you feel about what you've seen in ERA? Because I know you've been with other companies before. Yeah. So what are some similarities, some differences that you've seen within the ERA family, and how do you feel about ERA of what you've seen so far?
Well, I absolutely love ERA. I had my first real introduction at the International Business Conference in San Antonio, and I instantly fell in love with the company and the people, the brokers, franchisees, both in the United States and around the world. And the sales associates that were there. I felt an instant kinship. And since that time, I've been traveling quite a bit, mostly in the United States, and really trying to understand what makes ERA tick. And for me, I think there are a couple things that distinguish ERA from all other real estate enterprises out there. First and foremost is the network. This is a network, and when I say the network, not just the physical structure of it and the distribution points around the country, but the people that make up the network. The people are unique in that they work together and are very supportive with each other to help solve problems and raise the bar for everybody, and that is a very good and very positive thing, and I think it bodes well for our future. The second is the tools and systems. I have observed real estate tools and systems across all real estate enterprises. I've built them in other companies, and I think that the offerings that the ERA brand brings to the marketplace are excellent and superior, and I think the work that you've done to bring those tools to the European market demonstrate that. And so when I look at ERA, I think those are the two most significant elements of what I see.
Oh, well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And we've certainly seen the same in Europe.
Yeah.
In implementing those systems across the board has really been able to bring better results and improve profitability for the brokers and the ERA members. Thinking ahead as it relates to ERA network specifically, what is your vision for ERA for the future?
Well, you know, I see great opportunity, and I see opportunity for ERA on a global aspect, and I also see opportunity for individuals within the system and individual concerns and companies and people. We are a company that is in a perfect position. The real estate industry on a global basis is changing rapidly, and consumers are driving that change. Consumers are buying and selling and transacting in real estate in different ways, and the companies that are going to succeed over the next 5 to 10 years are the ones that are going to be best positioned to be flexible and to evolve. And if you look at our history, we are an innovative company. We started from, and our roots were in technology and in innovative thought, and we have continually brought innovation to the marketplace. We are a company that has great distribution throughout the world. ERA is everywhere, but there is room to grow still. Right. And so if you are involved in the company, there is room for you. And if you are someone who's outside looking to come in, there's room for you as well. And I think as we evolve with the marketplace, we're going to provide a value proposition that is unmatched by other real estate companies.
That's great, and we've certainly seen a lot of that growth ourselves. We've been fortunate throughout Europe in the expansion that we have had with getting new partners to join in the various countries. And throughout Europe, we've really looked to be innovative in some of the different programs that we've done. And one of those programs actually is the ERA Europe Market Survey Report that we've put together now every year for the past several years. I'm not sure, have you had a chance to look at it?
I have, and I think it's brilliant. I think this is a brilliant tool, and the work that's gone into it is significant. I have not seen this type of intelligence provided for markets anywhere else in the world. And I think it's a good example of what I was just talking about, that the support and the systems that the ERA provides, and in your case through the European operation, is really unmatched. And it's through this type of information that we're arming those associated with us with everything they need to grow. So I think it's a great tool.
Oh, great. And then the other tool that we've put together and really worked hard to blend in with the ERA International Collections is our International Collections magazine. So maybe we've got your next vacation home in here. Have you had a chance to look at it?
Actually, I have. And you and I were talking before we got going here. This actually sits on my coffee table in my living room at home.
Good. Okay.
And I love this. I think you guys have done a terrific job of integrating the International Collections program in Europe with the program that is originated in the United States. And it is really a best-in-class example of how to utilize the luxury program. And it's fabulous. And when you meet my wife someday, you'll know that she looks at this on a regular basis.
Well, good. Yeah. Well, I guess if we don't have the opportunity for our members to meet with you in Europe at some point in the future, which I hope we'll have the chance to do, but I know you've got some meetings coming up here in the U.S., so maybe you can tell us a little bit about
absolutely.
those.
We're just about to make a big announcement relative to our International Business Conference for 2010.
Right.
We are, in fact, going to hold the meeting next year. There was some talk that maybe we would skip a year, but no, it's too important a meeting to have. When I talked earlier about the network and the importance of the people of our network coming together and being supportive, we need to provide those opportunities on a global basis for people to do that. And the International Business Conference will be held in Nashville, Tennessee, which for those that don't know is the country music capital of the world, and there is so much to do there in addition to the meetings that we'll be holding. I think it's a great destination, and I very much hope that as many people from Europe can make the trip over, because it will be a good opportunity for them to really get down to business and energize themselves for the year to come, but also experience a little bit of what Nashville has to offer and give me an opportunity to meet all of you. And so my hope is that we can get as big and as large a contingent from Europe as possible at the meeting this year.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation and meet the new president and CEO of ERA Real Estate, Mr. Charlie Young. We certainly hope you'll have the opportunity to come to Nashville and be present at the 2010 IBC conference. Hope to see you soon. Au revoir, and thank you very much, Charlie.
Thank you.